What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James. Underthoughts. Pull up. Hey man, tongue tie, man. I'm gonna blame it on my new regime right now. What I'm going on, but this is at Big Game James _36, and this is at Big Games BS on a hump day. A little monotonous. Hump days are monotonous, man. So you got to switch up your routine. What better way to switch up your routine than smoking? Go get you a cigar from thehumidor.com. Switch up the cigar that you like, man. Get you some Olivas. Go get you some, something good. Get something expensive, man. Football season's right around. We're going to come up with a tailgate package of cigars that you can get. And you know what you get at Big Games tailgates. It's all you can drink, all you can eat, all you can smoke, all that jazz, man. So we're going to bring that to you. And it's always brought to you by the good folks at thehumidor.com and ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, where if you're not buying your liquor or your cigars from these two, what the hell are you doing? You're definitely not supporting me. I don't want to hear that shit about support black businesses or support your own. You know how you support me? Support the people that make sure my bills are paid. That's how we roll, man. I'm learning how influential I am. I'm so influential that other podcasts are biting my style, man. I see you, War Chant. It's all good. But just know they all right with you. They love me. I deal with Chris. I mean, I deal with the cigars are. I deal with all of the guys. Like they actually fucks with me. They don't fuck with you. And yes, all season, if you're in FS, I'm going to tell you the few that I'm not gonna mess with. All right, Bud, you okay right now. But sometimes, Bud, you get in your little pretentious bag. But I like you because you're smart and you actually do come up with some good stuff. What's my guy? Oh, damn, I can't think of his name, man. Shit. This is disrespectful right now because I really, really do like him. Basically, fuck it. No cash, you straight. Y'all all right. As long as you don't go around, because you actually gave me my nickname that I profited off of. The fullback. So like the fullback said, like, I don't know what the fuck you thought was that, but it's cool because I actually did it. I take pride in it. Very few kids done it. And damn it, Bobby Bowden said I was top 5. So that's all that matters. I wasn't, in my opinion, but Bobby said it. So that's all that matters. William Floyd is the GOAT. Dane Williams after that. And after that, the rest of us are just, you can plug and play. But them two motherfuckers were some badass motherfuckers. So, y'all straight. No cash, y'all straight. Because of the reputables. Oh, Logan, you're a reputable now. Logan Robinson and No Game Day. You got press credentials, so you're officially a reputable. But you're my guy. I like you. I'll see you on Mark Rogers tonight. If you're listening to this later on, me and Logan do Mark Rogers college football, voice of college football, every Wednesday with Jay Peasy. And we go in there, we discuss all things Knowles. I think I should be on there as long as my cell phone's working. And I got an NIL movement podcast today too. So I hate talking. Like people, we'll even get into that, especially you people who like really want me to talk on the phone. I get paid to talk. So I have to really I like to condense my words, like text it to me. That's why I like text messages, because the more I talk, the less I get good. That's why I get tongue tied with shit what I just did. Like it's literally I have a governor on me. Like I only get 10,000 words a day. After 10,000, my body just shuts down and start acting weird. So anyway, so we got that. Outside of that, man, everybody else is on a case-by-case basis. Really don't. I mean, and those are just the reputables. We got like 1,000 FSU podcasts. So like, if I didn't name you, doesn't mean I got beef with you. And if I didn't say you, it could be good or bad. I might just take it upon how you get. If you get a stray, you get a stray. The best way to do this is just keep my name out your fucking mouth or say positive things. And that's what I always try to do. Be positive unless I'm critiquing. And that's, what it is. And it just all depends. But again, I see you, War Chant. Congratulations. As long as you're drinking ABC Fine Wine and Spirits, I really don't give a fuck, what you're doing. So if you saw it from me, if you saw it from them, great. Support them. I get paid either way, quarterly. Very well. Love it. Actually can't wait for that. I think I got to send the invoice in and keep this thing moving, baby. inside the greatest cigar lounge of all time. Hopefully, Miles, people have been saying they like the old backdrop, so we may have to change this around a little bit. I'm in a barber chair right now, but my beard is ugly. I blame T-Wig because T-Wig wasn't available 2 weeks ago, and he messed up my routine. I'm a creature of habit. I like habits, but that's why I come here to the Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. We're going to be starting our Monday Night Live show before Monday Night Football, so stay tuned for that. We'll be having game watch parties here from FSU. So I got to talk with my guy Sam Moore with Listen Up Podcast. We will be having a game watch party for Duquesne on Saturday the 27th. We'll have a game watch party here for the LSU game. I won't be here. I'll be in LSU expecting you guys to tailgate. Stay tuned to Sports Den Live. We're going to do some other different things, and I'll be on some other pods. I'm going to do a tailgate for a Jags game this year. I'm really interested in doing that. All my tailgates go toward the MFTK Foundation, Mentors for the Kids, where we try to motivate kids and give them all the tools to succeed. We got a STEM camp starting this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so you'll be getting some data and some things coming from that. But this is going to be a basically tribute to Green Acres for an entire fucking show because I got a lot of hatred in my heart right now. Like I'm really, 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 really like just it's not just me. I have some hate in my heart because there's some things that rub me the wrong way. But there's also people who are doing an elite level job of being petty and haters. And I want to take this hump day to reward and acknowledge the haters for their respective ways. I'm even thinking about doing a haters award show, like the player haters ball on the Chappelle show, but there's different. There's people who hate and it's engaging and it's good. It's genuine hate. Then there's snitches who everybody hates, but their need to snitch it's fueled off of hatred of themselves and of others. Then there's people who are just petty. That goes on both sides. Petty can go for the hatred of yourself or you're a snitch, or it can just go because you're that. Like 50 Cent is a level of petty that I can admire. 50 Cent is who he is. He's that, 50 is unapologetic. But this guy right here, and I just want to bring this up while it's on my heart before I get into some of the other things that I'm really disliking with this being the first week of school in Duval County. Charleston White. I had no idea who this person was. He has really blown up since since quarantine. I don't know if he's a gangster. I don't know if he's I don't know what his mark is, but he has a unique ability to be able to get under the skin of everybody. And that takes a talent and that takes a skill. And what he's done is he takes shots at literally everybody. Rappers, gangsters, he has his opinions on anything that's public. And then what he does is he lets it known that he is a snitch. So he talks his cash money shit and then let it be known that if you try to do something to him, he will tell the authorities. And not in a manner in which most people are like, okay, like there's a little drawback, I'm afraid. No, like he takes snitching to the next level. And I would say this, but I'm prefacing this because there's a bitch assness to him, but it's like an art to the bitch assness to him. Like, for example, Soulja Boy, he had talked shit about Soulja Boy. And then Draco sees him, which is Soulja Boy's given nickname, sees him out in public, and him and his boys try to run up on him. And Charleston White does something that I've never known any man on earth to carry. I only know women who carry this. He pulled out mace. He maced Soulja Boy and his crew. It was great. It was amazing. Like the level of like he was like, nah, and Soulja Boy was like, I just wanted to talk to him. And he was just like, nah, but I agree with Charleston White. If I see 5 or more people coming up to talk to me and they come in with a little bit of speed and some aggression, I don't want to talk. You talk to me from a distance. You talk to me through text message. You talk to me through a lot of other different ways, especially when we've had a contentious relationship. I think it's very interesting, but I would have never thought, like most people will pull out the nine. This is why you have Green Acres, self-defense. But very few people are like, I'm gonna pull out and I'm gonna mace this dude. Where does one buy pepper spray? Can you get this? Like Z, if you're listening, can I get this at Green Acres? Should I carry pepper spray on me? I've been maced before. Like I know police officers carry it, but I never knew like that this is just something that men carry. But kudos to like being everything that you like, I have an appreciation for people who are everything that they say they are. And he is being the greatest snitch. Like he's gonna go down in history as the greatest snitch to like ever live.
What is he professionally?
I don't know.
Is he like a comedian?
No. He just showed up one day. So again, so for those who don't know, like James, why are you talking about? I have no idea why I'm talking about this guy. I don't know what he did, what he does. All I know is during quarantine, I found so many great things. Miles can attest to it. He's on the porch. I'm one of the worst people in America. I'm willing to admit it. I don't like my earbuds. I don't like stuff. I talk to people on speakerphone. I listen to YouTube loud. I listen to YouTube on speaker. And Miles had to go with I learned about what's the dude's name? In Jay Shot First or something like that. Anyway, John Shot First. I listened to this guy John who breaks down the messed up origins of your favorite fairy tales. I found biographics and this British dude who breaks down all these history things. I really started getting into Vlad TV. I started getting into a lot of this stuff. And Vlad TV is the first time I saw him. Then he just started popping up on my timeline. If you go to my TikTok, there's a video that you can go look at my profile that I have of him where he's just like, oh, this shit is real. So I thought he was a gangster, just a little petite one. But they make most of y'all who are goons or whatever, y'all are petite. Like T.I. is one of the smallest. Most of your favorite rappers are pocket sized. Like Plies is hilarious to me because he's talking about whooping ass at 5'3", $120. Who's the dude that shot that Meg Thee Stallion is built like most linebackers, and she got into it with Tory. I swear to God, if you read the police report, you would think that they switched the sizes. Tory Lanez is a petite male. I'm sorry if I'm fighting somebody that's close to 200 pounds. And I'm 120, I'm probably shooting you too. It's just physically that's like you're like a lightweight, or was it not even a lightweight? You're a featherweight fighting a heavyweight. Not saying you can miss me with the whole men thing. I'm just saying I don't know who's innocent and who's guilty, but that's what happened. But Charleston White is definitely a featherweight. So he makes his Soldier Boy, but he made the news because of this. And let me pull my Twitter up. And again, like I said, he's a notorious hater. He's like not a notorious hater, excuse me. He's a notorious snitch. And yeah, he's a hater too. Let me rephrase. He's a hater. But I'm trying to find is this guy threatens him. Everybody's threatening him. Everybody's saying you gonna get your comeuppance, dog. You gonna get your comeuppance. And he basically told the authorities that and you can't make threats to people online. It's called bullying, cyberbullying now. But some Atlanta dude named, all right, I'm gonna say this first. Some Atlanta native called Quick Flip Vino was arrested for allegedly threatening Charleston White online and trying to ban him from Atlanta. It's called a no-fly zone when you ban somebody from the city. And Charleston White took all this threat seriously. And now my man got arrested, and you got to bond out, and you got to do a lot of this stuff. Also, can y'all start like alerting people over 30? Like, so I got a friend, J-Rod, who works with QC Media. He is the one who helps put me on game to these rappers. Because I need to know who my son's going to listen to. But can we stop talking about, like, it's sad that this rapper died and, his, like, come on, dog. Like, when Pac died, we all knew who Pac was. We all knew who Biggie was. We found out about Nip. We all know who Nipsey Hussle is. Like, let's stop with little Trip Pistol Starter died yesterday, like, and it's sad because he was doing it. Come on, dog. And Nipsey, shout out to Nip. It was his birthday. I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I didn't realize he was a Leo like myself. So
You see me got his Hollywood star.
yeah, he got his Hollywood star. That's dope. But y'all gotta like stop all of this shit. So moving on. And also, like, James, how do you know someone's useless knowledge? I'm in media. I create content. So and so basically I'm a house dad. And I get a chance to, I'm in my car a lot. I'm driving a lot. I've always, even when I have my gym, I'm always to and fro. But one of the things that I really, really hate is you people. And Denny used to think like I just like people. No, I am able to relate to people and I'm able to connect. But I really hate you guys because a lot of you guys aren't real to yourselves. And what I mean by that is, right now, what's flooded on your timeline the last 3 weeks? Different areas of the country have been starting school. And all the way up into the Northeast, which I believe they'll start school after Labor Day. I hate you parents with a passion because so many of y'all pretend and you don't even you mess it up for guys like me. I'm a routine guy. I like consistency. I need everything to be the same every day. For the most part, like you throw me off, I don't want to be thrown off my routine. So right now, my sons have thrown me off my routine because they're going to school. I drop them off, I pick up. Drop off is cool because my son is a nerd right now. He's in this thing called Technocats, and basically he's learning the family trade. He's going to learn how to cut, edit, create content to be a part of his school's newscast. We used to pick on the audiovisual club. Now audiovisual club is cool. I get it. I had to tell him he's going to learn how to be a producer and edit because his dad can't do a show without his uncle. And then he was like, well, Dad, you do it. I said, well, you're not Dad. You don't have a name. Nobody knows who you are. Figure it out. You'll always be able to do a show whenever you want to. Things work out that way. So I get to drop him off at like 7:40 in the morning. Ain't nobody there. I'm great. Happy for it. I'm actually grateful. Get it out the way. Drop the kid. Drop drop Killer off. And then we get going about our day. The problem is I got to pick him up. School gets out at 3:00. Why do I have to show up before 2:00 to be able to get my son at a reasonable time? Like, I showed up at 2:15 and the line on the first day of school was so far. It was mile. It was almost a mile. And it's full of you parents who will not be there next week. But you're messing up my routine on how I got to get to practice. I got other stuff I got to do. I lost 90 minutes of my life because you guys try to act like you don't truly embody the literal form of MFTK. In the next 2 weeks, none of you guys, you don't go to parent-teacher meetings. You don't do anything. You don't even like your ugly-ass kids. You just drop them off and let somebody else raise them and bitch about stuff that you know not to be true. Again, I went to the parent, not the parent-teacher conference. I went to orientation. I asked the teacher when they're going to learn about lesbians. I am intrigued. I want to know. I want to be in the Kill Whitey class. Y'all think they learning about CRT. I'm like, ma'am, when we learning about CRT, I have some opinions. You know what that teacher did? She thinks some batshit crazy. You know why she thinks some batshit crazy? Because none of that shit's in the curriculum. Not in public school. You know where it is in the curriculum, though? In you rich people schools. You're trying to dictate how us poor people educate our kids.
Thank you.
While your kids are the ones who are learning about lesbianism and stuff, having all the fun. I'm mad as hell. Nah, I volunteer at the school.
Stay out of poor people business.
I was ready to learn about lesbians, man. They can keep the other transformers and all the alphabets, but the lesbians, we was gonna be there, man. Front row, pen and pad, trying to learn something. My point in all of this is you guys don't care about your kids. You're not gonna go to lunch. You're only gonna care. Here's the new challenge, right? Not first day of school challenge, not pick up your kids challenge, not drop them off. Post them goddamn 9 weeks report cards. I bet you won't do that. Because you know what we all learned during quarantine? Is none of us are as smart as we are, and teachers don't get paid enough. You know why kids are dumb at an all-time rate right now? Because for almost 2 years, dumb people had to teach them. You can only impart what you are. Think of the great philosopher and poet Forrest Gump said, stupid is as stupid does. So again, that was angry. That made me mad. Starbucks made me mad. Had a great massage though. Other stuff made me mad on some business things, but just saying it was just an overall hate-fueled day. And my commitment to hate is trumped by a Charleston White, but there's only one greater hater, and he would get the greatest hatred of the continuation, a generational. He's a generational talent when it comes to hating. He's also a pretty damn good sports show host, whether you believe it or not. Skip Bayless has literally changed the way we debate sports. He's changed the sports talk show. Whether it was with Cold Pizza when it first started, which is wild because Cold Pizza started when I was in high school. Like it feels like forever, but it wasn't. ESPN took a gamble with Cold Pizza, starting a morning sports talk show, and then they brought Stephen A. Smith in. After Stephen A. Smith damn near failed, he got fired from ESPN the first time for being too controversial, being too black. To come now and people say he's about as watered down as milk with a splash of coffee in it. But Skip Bayless really challenged the way we think. But Skip Bayless, in the same 20 years, found a nemesis. The guy's the same age as me. This man, from a professional level, because I don't believe on a personal level he does. And I think even his wife has questioned if it's just professional. And I question it too sometimes. Like, did LeBron James sleep with Skip Bayless's wife? For his level of hatred. Every day, this man has LeBron James's name in his. LeBron James is in Skip Bayless's mouth more than Savannah. It's amazing. His commitment to the troll. And most people have been questioning, man, what is Skip gonna do when LeBron retires? Who will he hate? Who will he hate next? Well, LeBron did what every black man wants to do. Every man in general. I'm assuming white men want to do it, but I'm not white. I'm black. So, but I know I have. You name your son after you. I didn't want to be anything in life but a dad, and I wanted to have one son at least, and his name was to be James Coleman. And that son has one obligation to me. It's it. I don't care what he does with his life. He has one thing he owes me. And that's a James Anthony Coleman the fourth. And keep that thing rolling until we get to like the 20. If we can get a 2-3, that'd be amazing. But my point in all that is we want to procreate. We want to have a legacy. And I think Skip Bayless might have been more happy when Bronny James was born than Savannah or LeBron's mom or their grandparents. Because you know what he felt? He's like, those genes are strong. And that's going to give me somebody to hate. And like, and it's crazy. It's so pure. Miles, if you can bring the video up. Bronny James has been getting trolled by everybody because he's not as good as his dad. And that happens, man. It's okay. But the kid is actually a solid basketball player, which is nothing wrong with that. But he has something that everybody dreams of. He got a pass, went full court, coast to coast is what they call it. And he's able to do something that not many Americans can do anyway. Not many 6'2" Americans. And he goes down the court and he dunks on a kid that's taller than him. Bangs on him. Right hand, jam. One-handed jam, boom. Got the crowd rolling. Give it to him. Funk on him. Get on his ass, Bronny. You know what I'll do if Trey does that? That's what I'm talking about, son. That's how I raised your ass. Make that happen. Cheers. Daps up his coach. Everybody's happy. They even put clips of his dad doing it. And the diabolical hater that Skip Bayless is, the creativity in such hate that Skip Bayless is, showed he is so good at this. If you read it and you read it slow, like you're reading to comprehend, right? You almost think it's a praise of LeBron, but it's a shot at LeBron through his son. So this is 4D chess. He's still hating on LeBron James because he's hating on LeBron James. Because Bronny's name is LeBron James. That's next level hate. Like that's the hate that you can only pray to achieve. But he says, hey, Bronny, impressive. But your dad would have dunked it left-handed. You got away with it, though. Skip Bayless, a man who Jalen Rose completely eviscerated when he was on the same show. So much so, like the only level of evisceration that we're getting is when we see Stephen A. Smith constantly get done up by a former Duke Blue Devil legend. Damn, I can't even think of his name, but he always checks him. But Jalen Rose always says, hey, man, basketball can be taught by novices or you can be critiqued. You didn't have to play the game, but like, damn, when you talk about this guy is soft, when you say this guy can't do this, and then he said, well, Jalen, what were you good at? And he said, no, bitch, what were you good at? And he went back and looked up Skip Bayless's stats in high school back when they played in peach baskets. And he said you average 1.4 points per game as a senior. I know for a fact Skip Bayless has never dunked before. And he has the nerve to critique a high school kid. But again, the levels of hate of his father reach that. It's supposed to be sins of the father, but like the sins of the father is really making the life of the kid harder. And the beautiful thing about LeBron is LeBron never entertains it. So that's what always makes it funny. Skip Bayless, arguably one of the biggest voices in critiques or sportscasters in modern day sports era, constantly goes after him. There's not one tweet that you've ever seen LeBron James respond to Skip Bayless. On3 Sports predicts that Bronny is going to Oregon. And LeBron James responds to On3 Sports. A newly started up prep site. That's who he chooses to respond to. And they just say that they have this predictor, which has been as inaccurate as anything that you could think of. And nobody bashes them. Like if I created On3 probably wouldn't be here. Florida State fans would hate On3 with a passion. LeBron goes out and says, my son has never been on a visit. It has like 3 offers. When LeBron's, you'll know where Bronny's going when he predicts it. And I think it's just funny because I actually believe that Bronny is probably going to go play pro 1 year so that he could get picked up by whoever LeBron James is playing for so that he can have his dream. I believe he's that good of a player. Not Bronny James. I think LeBron James is that much of an iconic player that somebody will give him the opportunity to play on the same team as his son. And he's a good player. He's just not an iconic player, which is, one of the things that always messes up young men who are who follow in their father's footsteps. Luckily for my son, I wasn't like great like that. So hopefully he'll be exponentially better than I was. So you got that. more hatred, and this is a great opportunity to plug in Green Acre Sporting Goods. Green Acre Sporting Goods is a great outdoor place for all things. Get your fishing, your hunting, wildlife needs. You need a knife? They got them good old-fashioned Rambo knives. They got the big guns that kill predators. There's a new Predator movie called Prey that's out. That's supposed to be pretty good. They got the stuff that the Indians killed the predator with. Bows and arrows and crossbows. All of that stuff is good. Uh-oh, got a text from Z. Oh, perfect. We got Ruger pump shotties just from the man himself, Z. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Oh, no, make sure my guy's number's not on there. All right. Oh, my bad. Right here, got the Ruger pump shotgun. $499 is one of the ones I'm looking at. That thing, that's a sexy ass color. You got $699. You got all kinds of different ones, but I think everybody should have a pump. It is a pump shotty, right? Make sure I'm talking to him right now. With hunting season just around the corner. Well, actually, hunting season has already started in South Carolina. But anyways, we have a red tax sale going on a lot of our firearms that are marked down and ready to find new homes. Basically, go there and say Sports Den sent you or Big Game sent you. They'll give you a nice pen to sign with because the prices are already competitive. But check that out. So, on that note, it's a lot of hatred. And I'm not, Miles, this isn't at you because you are creative. But you people. What do you mean, you people? I love that. It is such a good, like, you. Anytime somebody says you people, has there ever been a time when nobody's going to get offended?
Yeah, it never works.
Like, it never works. But creatives have the most difficult job in the world because you're creative and you want things to be perfect. But man, perfection kind of gets in the way sometimes. And what this wasn't Miles's fault. But like this one, but like I am particular about things that I want in the timing. And sometimes creators don't get there. And I wasn't gonna say anything, but this guy who's amazing follow, if you like stocks, if you want to get into stocks and you want to do things, this guy by the name of Wall Street Trapper. His story is amazing. And it actually is this hate o'clock is gonna weave into the next hate o'clock. His story is so good because he actually went to jail. I believe for attempted murder. A guy robbed him, and he went back and got his bread back. And what he talked about was the guy robbed him. So there's two ways to do it. You can stick somebody up, you can rob them. Like when you rob somebody without a mask on, that's a point that you're trying to prove. And that's what he felt. So like, and he was in the streets. So in order for him to be able to keep his street rep, he was like, I gotta go respond. I gotta go back and get my money. So he did that. Police got him. He served like 10 years. But in prison, he met a guy. And it was one of the greatest bars I've ever heard. Like the guy said, I bet you're in. He's like, you're in prison. What you in prison for? Probably something stupid, huh? And Angola, they give you bracelets. Because Angola is a prison, but it's also a hold. It's kind of like Rikers Island in New York, in Louisiana. But Angola's in Louisiana. But the ban lets people know if you're in what type of crime you're in for, or you've been arrested for it, or you're going to jail for. But he met a guy, and he was like, I bet you're in here for something that was $50,000 or less. And he was like, yeah, but you in here too. He's like, yeah, but I'm in here for $2.5 million. And that money's going to be there when I get out in less than a year. You're going to be in here for 10 years. Was the 10 years worth the $50,000? And it was and you could probably imagine who the complexion of the person that he was talking to and the things of that. Because a lot of times crimes are about proximity and what you have access to. So, but it was a great story of how he got gamed and learned. And he learned about stocks in prison. He learned about things that you can do. And from there, he really taught himself a lot about the stock market. He read a lot of books. He read about investing. And when he got out, he started doing those things. And he's become very wealthy, and he's teaching people, and he calls them the Wall Street. He calls Wall Street the new trap. So taking hood terminology, bringing it over into mainstream corporate culture and doing that. But he's a guy who is also a content creator. No matter what you do, we're all in content creation, whether you believe it or not. Because people got to know about what you're doing or they won't know. But a lot of us don't have the ability to know how to cut and paste and make things look certain way. But this is what it said. If you're a videographer, photographer, know that speed kills. Creativity is your key to success. If your videos aren't quick and sweet, you will lose. Working with certain entrepreneurs will get you connections and more work. The 1 week turnaround is no longer acceptable. The big trap. And the reason why is because everybody's pushing out content. So, like, I just did my book bag drive, and I just got my video from my book bag drive from Tallahassee. That was over 10 days ago. I can't keep talking about something that was 10 days ago, about to go in football season. And it's a good video. Guy does dope work. But, like, I can't do that. And I will work with him again. But here's the lesson in it. Because the problem is that people know when you can do something, when you can't do something. So Future was in Tallahassee with a new rapper, Boston Rich, who I actually enjoy. Had no idea he was from Tallahassee. He's from Houghton Street. Shout out to 2502. Obviously, with Future going to bring the whole city out, right? Bunch of people going into Houghton Street. They ain't never been to Houghton Street. And I hope you got robbed because you probably shouldn't have been there. But he was there, and he had a lot of video people, a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I see a video. So Future was there on Monday. I see a video. I get sent a video on Tuesday, and it's everybody I think I was telling you, Miles, this. One of the things that everybody has to do is have a unique style. That's your watermark, basically. There should be something that I can see out. Big scale, Spike Lee always has the thing where he's just sitting, where the person looks like they're moving, but they're standing still. That's an iconic. That's how you can, no matter what you're watching, you can know that that's a Spike Lee joint, or Spike Lee has something to do with it. The guy who makes Lock, Stock, Smoking Barrels, can't think of his name. But he has this thing where the people are running in slow motion, but everything is going fast. He does that in every one of his movies. Guy Ritchie. Yeah, Guy Ritchie has that. He did that in Sherlock Holmes movies. You can see some things. M. Night Shyamalan is not necessarily a cinematic style. It's that every one of his movies are nothing like what you thought it was, what was being previewed. So, like, that's his style. This guy has a unique style that I use, and I like that. That's kind of what made me want to get him. But Future was there on Monday. And he got a 17-second clip made on Tuesday. I did my shit on two Saturdays ago. And I still ain't have my product. So, again, you got to make sure because Future ain't going to be back. We got a host, again, for those who don't know what stuff, I'm telling you, pay attention to Micanopy 1851 and pay attention to some of the stuff. We got potentially an entire streaming network coming in relationships with other people that I can't really speak about right now, but like, just don't ever big league people because somebody else is there. Take the opportunities, but make sure you eat what's on your plate first before you go get the dessert. I'm guilty of the same thing. We're all guilty of it. But you got to make sure you do it because you never know what that's going to lead into. Consistent bread is better than just one big lick. Moving into it, Wall Street Trapper is like a content creator. He's motivational. There's nothing that I hate more on this planet than motivational speakers, though. I know it sounds weird, right? It's a whole, like, self-help books is a whole thing. I've read them. But then when you started thinking about it, and maybe I'm wrong, and Miles is the only person I can bounce ideas off of because he's here. Very few of them, the motivational speakers, have ever been successful at what they're doing. And I have a guy that I know who, I remember we were coming up. I used to pick on him all the time. I'm like, how are you going to motivate me when you ain't motivated? Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, you are literally trying to become a professional motivational speaker. Like, and that's it. That's your whole job. That's your claim to fame. It's not like you were rich and then decided to make other people rich. So I get Wall Street Trapper. He learned how to trap He's teaching other people how to trap. Now he can motivate you. But most of these guys, their only claim to fame is them. And then some of it is just not. And why do you bring this up, James? Because the Big Three Twitter and FSU and just other people, every year in training camp, they make a big deal about these people coming in to talk to you about how to be motivated. And I'm going to be honest with you, 90% of the time, we don't want to hear what the fuck they got to say, dog. It's tiring. I'm tired. I want to go home. I don't want to be here for another hour to hear somebody yell and preach. I go to church if I want that. But to hear somebody tell me about how hard their life was, how they had to overcome, how they had to do this, is to basically tell me a story of that I already have. I don't need to rehash my own personal traumas.
Except for David Goggins.
I don't even know who David Goggins is.
You don't know David Goggins?
No.
The running crazy guy, the Marine. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know what his name was. So I was gonna get into the specific. Yeah, so with football in particular. So a lot of, and I love E.T. the hip hop preacher. I don't necessarily need to hear E.T. Like E.T. ain't go like who's gonna help me get off of this block, especially when you're a losing program. So Florida State fans, like, wow, Florida and Miami had Inky Johnson. Like, no disrespect to Inky Johnson. I think his story is great. But what is this dude with a little hand gonna do to motivate me to not get my ass whooped on the football field? What is E.T. coming in and yelling at me and telling me I need to want to succeed as bad as I want to breathe going to do to get me off of the block? To make me go run through somebody? Not a goddamn thing. Here's the one thing that most people go to Florida State's for. I want to get my mama out the hood. I want to go to the NFL. If you're not fucking motivated by that point, then what is going to motivate you? Now, granted, I get the Alabamas of the world. Alabama's already at the precipice. Sometimes you do need that little bit of a push, right, to get you off. But when you're at the bottom, the only way to get off the bottom is you're fucking tired of being at the bottom. Period. If I got to come in and motivate you to want to go do this, it's not going to work. Motivational speakers only come in and they motivate you for that moment. That's why Christianity hasn't been working in the manner in which it is. I'll say American Christianity, because basically every Sunday people go to get a pep talk and that runs out by Monday at noon. Some people, it runs out by the time you get hit in the face with life. People talk about the Wolf of Wall Street and why I don't like him. Because he's like, I can sell a pen to a millionaire. And I can't think of the other guy. It's another guy who's a counter to him. He says, well, who the fuck, why would a millionaire need to buy a pen? He's a millionaire. You want to impress me? Show me how you can make the pen company. Show me how you can do this. Everybody is so, and this is why magicians, this is why Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey was what they were. Because everybody is ready to be fooled and be suckered. You know what motivates me? Badassery. Not guys who, because again, it's two things. You're either gonna die or you're gonna move forward. So Inky's story, I get. It was bad. It was a bad injury. I get it. Now, if he went back on the football field and became an all-pro corner, I'd be like, shit, okay, come talk to me. Yeah, that's a cool ass story. I'm not saying in corporate America that doesn't work, but it doesn't work in gladiatorial combat. You know what does work? What you just said, I didn't even know his name, Miles, until you said it. Was it David Goggins?
Yeah.
Give me a Marine. What these guys need is resiliency training. If nothing more, it's resiliency training. Yeah. These kids are mental midgets. You yell at them and they freeze and they shut down. I have to get on my own sons about that. And talk to their mom like, no, they're too young for that. Nah, just because somebody yells at you doesn't mean you get to quit. The problem is still there. I can give you all the hoorah, the hoopla all day, but the problem still exists. What's going to get me through the problem? Tell me how. Or teach me how. Show me how. Tell me something more than I was homeless and now I'm not. And how you did it, because if I reverse engineer that shit, you were homeless and then you became not homeless anymore because you started talking to people about how you were homeless.
Yeah, that's the part.
You didn't do anything to, like, you didn't create anything. You didn't will yourself. You just said, I'm going to talk. That's not helping me during 2-a-days. So during that same time, and I did get motivated by E.T. I loved his stuff because he was creative. He created mixtapes, took music that was popular at the time, and it had his voice over the instrumentals. Was dope. But during that same time, I found this guy. This guy by the name of C.T. Fletcher. Matter of fact, I'm rocking the shirt from C.T. Fletcher. Fuck excuses. I don't think he's a motivational speaker as much as he's a resiliency trainer. This is a life mantra. I tell people all the time, like when I was talking about the videographer and other stuff, nobody cares. Like when I paid, when I was, one of the things that people said when I was down in the hospital is that, James, you're moving too fast. I said, nobody cares. My bills don't care. They don't care that I was in the hospital. I got to pay stuff. I still got people that I'm catching up with now that want to send me messages every fucking 5 minutes. You'll get it when you get it. But they don't want excuses. They want results. And that's why I'm, but again, but it's a thing that you can't see. It's ISYMFS. And it's a mantra. It's a mantra as stronger than MFTK. And I loved it. I loved it. My business partner hated it at the time because he's a very good Christian man, and I get it. But I knew I related to that more than anybody else, especially when we were in the gym in the sports performance world. And that means it's still your set, motherfucker. No, it's still your motherfucking set. That's what it is. My bad.
Good correction.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I get it right because I don't want somebody coming after me because I've seen what happens when you say things wrong. But what that means is, no matter what, it's still your set. You still got to get that rep. If you quit on that rep, that's going to mess you up. That's practical knowledge that you can take. It's not a feel good. It's not a tickle you. It's not a, no, it's, if you ain't, it's your set until you're done. That challenge ain't going to go out the way. And when I first heard him, you got the video, Miles, or you got to try to pull it up? It's, he talked about pain. And it's the YouTube. Never mind. You probably, it's in your emails. It's good, but we'll play a little bit later. But like shit, he talked about these things, and he's like, "Pain is my friend." Go ahead, you have to play that too because I want to hear that. I want to be motivated. Like this is different than coming in and saying, this man survived a heart attack. This man's done a lot of stuff. I actually got this one theory that I tell my kids when I coach. I said, there should be no point in your life where you can't do 10 push-ups.
I was just thinking that this morning. That's
like
crazy.
You should be, if you're grown, a few things, even to add to it. So my boy Grimes has this saying, and it's great. And so ladies, peep game. If that man can't eat 10 wings or a large pepperoni pizza, do you really have a man? If he can't do 10 push-ups at any given time, do you have somebody that can protect you from a bear? I get it. Y'all love these fluffy, $500 first date intellectual men, but I don't know if you see the way society's going. You might need a dude that can scrap a little bit, that don't mind getting in a kerfuffle. But like this guy right here, just if it's up, go ahead and play it. Just you gotta push it all the way to the start. Now, pull-ups are tough. I can't really get them like I want to because I had shoulder surgery. But this guy right here, man, is crazy.
Have a seat. Man, Jennifer, motherfucker. I made friends with the motherfucker. Pain
is my motherfucking friend.
I look for you so I can kick your motherfucking ass. You don't look for me. I'm looking for you, man. Bring your ass on over here. Let's be friends, motherfucker. Sit down. Make your
want him to be the strength and conditioning coach. I like our strength and conditioning coach at Florida State, but like, as a matter of fact, I remember my old page. I look at that. You see that look? That's that look. That's that crazy look. Like that's a look that makes you want to do something.
It's your shit.
I used to talk about this. It's a look. When I had my running back, I had the white running back, Cole Mazza. Cole Mazza was so good, but Cole was dope, and that was a cool Malcolm X quote too. By the way, I'll say that in a minute. Cole was more afraid of me than the disappointment than the other person that he had to go up against. Like that's real motivation and real coaching. And not CT, because he got CT, definitely. Like I gotta have it. But CT Fletcher is a resilience type of guy. That's the kind of guys that people who are really at the bottom need. It's a loving kick in the ass to let you know that your problems ain't going nowhere. Pain is at the door. You can either welcome it in and you can do something about it, or you can try to hide and tuck in your bed and say, maybe if I just think positive thoughts, it's going to go somewhere. And I hear that. I got you, positive affirmations. I like positive affirmations. But at a certain point, you just got to get shit done.
I woke up yesterday, pretty sure I broke my toe. I still had to go to work. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's swollen and red.
Yeah. Red is not good. Swollen, not when you're African American. You don't want anything to look. You don't want it to look red. But like I used to tell my sister the same thing. My sister would be like, my sister's an attorney, and I told her the realest advice that I could give her from a big brother's perspective, as a guy who's been sued and been through things. I don't care. Like if you're my attorney and I hire you, I don't care that you had a bad day. I don't care. Like my life is important too. I hired you to do a job. Coaches don't care. They recruited you or they signed you to do a job. And if you don't do their job, they get fired. That's the advice. Shout out to my position coach, Billy Sexton, who just had a stroke, unfortunately, today. And I was called right before I got in here, man. Really, again, I had a job to do. It very shook me. It's been almost just over a year since I lost my head coach. Just over a year since I've been out of the hospital, and then boom, another guy who's really important to me is in the hospital right now.
I'm about to go back to the gym. I haven't been to the gym since
that shit made you want to work out, right?
You know what?
That shit made you want to, but again, like that felt good. Like you said, ooh.
That's because he's telling the truth. He's not giving you wishy-washy stuff. He's telling you it sucks, it's painful, and you're gonna do it today.
Here, go click on. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. Go click on the other one, man. The other one makes you want to go curl some shit. Yeah, go to Jim. I sent it to you in the mailbox. Like this one right here, y'all gonna put. If you didn't know who the fuck CT Fletcher is, you gonna know now. Ah man, we gotta get you the YouTube, the real YouTube, man. All right, skip that ad, man. Bump this. All right. Yeah, you gotta pause that one. That thing I'm just telling you, you see the veins and like, I'm about to go. About to go curl some shit right now. And then I'm going to talk after we play this one right here, because he's got some bars, man. He's got his magnificent obsession. I had this quote, like he's got, oh no, it's in this one. Like you got to play that whole bad, but I don't even know how long it is, but that thing is amazing. All right.
Man, you to grow.
You must grow. I'm the boss, motherfucker.
I'm the boss, motherfucker. I tell you what to do.
You tell your muscles what to do.
I told your ass to grow. Grow.
What did Junior Miles say?
Junior Miles
said, everybody shut the fuck up.
There's some growing going on over here.
I don't know who Junior Miles is.
Grow, motherfucker.
Junior Miles told everybody to shut the fuck up. And you know what I did when I first heard it? I shut the fuck up.
Today, we're going to train arms.
Yeah,
you say it's impossible.
He like has some. It's just shit that just makes you feel like, you know what? All right, bro, I could do this. Like you showing me you can do this. You're not so like the other guy. A lot of these motivational speakers are just there to rah you up and then leave you. I ain't never met CT in the world. I've seen him train Sean Merriman, and that let me know I can't really. These motherfuckers crazy with their workouts. But like, I feel like if you're training with him, like, or if he's speaking to you, you're going through it. He's going through it with you. And he's going to show you how to do it each step of the way. That's what these guys need. They don't need a guy to just come in and say, yeah, it's bad. You can do it. Nah, motherfucker, you gon' do it. And we're going to do it this way. Sidewalk cracking motherfuckers. Badass motherfuckers. Like, it's just all kind, and I'm telling you, that shit is contagious. But again, it's contagious because I know I can look at him and tell that he did everything that he said I'm going to do, what I'm actually going through, or what I want to actually do. Not that he had a hard situation to live. That's the American way. You can find that every day. Everybody got a story. I'm just saying, man. When life is like, again, that's a fucking life quote. When shit is going bad and it's a lot of noise, just think what Junior Miles said. And it'll shut everything up. So command is shit to grow as some people who need resiliency training. We got Jaguars training camp. Jaguars are one of, again, as I continue to quote, you know how difficult it is to be as bad as the Jaguars have been. It is easier to win a Super Bowl than to be as bad as the Jaguars are. And a lot of times your bad decisions are sum total of your bad results are sum total of the bad decisions or the piss poor decisions that you've made. I have come to the made amends. I am really, really good friends with a past reason why we weren't any good. But that's a lot of his fault. Clavicle chasing is really, really bad. Chris Porter got mad at me, who I do First Coast News with every Sunday, where we break down the Jaguars. Got a little upset with me because I don't like Trayvon Walker as the first overall pick. I like him as the number one pick, but I don't like him as the first overall pick. So, Miles, if you could show us before we get to that, show us Walker Little. Walker Little was a mid-round pick by the Jacksonville Jaguars with Urban Meyer. Smoot is our, not journeyman, but he's a guy who's going to give us quality reps off of the sideline. He's not a starter, but he's a depth guy. He is really, really good. Now, one thing that Walker Little did to clavicle chasing last year and what he's been known for is walking people out of the club. And what I mean by that is he's pretty damn good. I think he can start at right tackle. There is a battle between him and Juwan Taylor, who you'll see in the clip again. And Juwan Taylor is arguably the worst offensive lineman on our squad. But let's see what Smoot does to Walker Little in one-on-one drills, which is designed for the defense to win. Oh, no, my bad. That's Trayvon Walker. My fault. I want to see Smoot. Yeah, so if you just watch that, we're gonna run that back. But what you're watching right now, what Miles put on, is our number one overall pick being blocked by Walker Little and being blocked very, very well. And if you look at the coach, he's there. The coach is there to mirror what a quarterback does. So before you say he would have done this, quarterback's in the back of his drop. He steps to the right, climbs back up in the pocket. Walker Little had zero chance of getting that sack. So what we want to see, though, is another one. Yeah, Smoot versus this is the one we want to see right here. And I want to give Jamal Cyprian, I believe, the props on this one. This isn't showing on our thing yet, right, Miles? Okay, right now, boom, you can hear it on the video, and what he's doing is being escorted back to his seat. Very expeditiously, very aggressive. Smoot gets under the pads. He gets a 6-inch punch, extends the arms, and drives his feet to where my man is walking back, and he lands on his butt. It hurts. The cushion, you got to have a little bit of ass on you, and your butt pad is not very thick. But he gets placed on his butt, and Walker Little gets up and does that. But now go back and show us the clip of Walker Little versus Trayvon Walker. Yep. So we got this one right here. And again, this is the guy who everybody keeps telling me, James, this is it. This is going blah, blah, blah. Nope. He's a good edge setter. That's not what you draft with the first overall pick. James, it's one-on-ones. That was one rep. Okay, fine. Let's find Juwan Taylor, who literally nobody has said anything good about in camp. And how is he doing against Juwan Taylor? He's got to have the same thing that Smoot has. And what you're gonna find is no, it's not happening. If he gets ran around, if you see the coach climbs the pocket, easy work for a quarterback. It just it's not me trying to find stuff. This is the first shit that pops up. And I think, again, Trayvon Walker is not Clavion Chase-Young. He will be good. He will be a contributing thing. But this is when you got to ask the media to tell you the truth. Because this is clear. Like, right here is what you are. Now, you have to hope that your interior is better. That may help with a lot of the stuff. But I should see domination in these reps. And then what I saw against the Raiders, and I saw a little bit in the Raiders, he was going up against a third-string offensive tackle. I don't know who the offensive tackle was for the Browns, but I will say is a lot of the hype that you guys have given this is not against ones. Preseason is kindergarten graduation. I expect dominance for a guy who we picked up, but you know, he can't help where he's drafted. Again, I think he'll develop into somebody really, really good, but I think a lot of this stuff is right here. And even if we improve, as I've said, the league is built for you to be average. And I think Doug Peterson is a much better coach than what we've had in the past few years. So all that being said, I have some concerns. So on that note, man, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. At Big Games BS, check us out again. Monday Night Football. We'll start having a live show here. Come tell your friends. Come join us at Goodfellas Cigar Lounge. Great drink specials, good cigars. We'll probably have Shannon Cheeseborough come and give us some food on those days. And we'll have a bunch of other different things coming on. Check out the tailgate for New Orleans. Support the MFTK Foundation by supporting those different things. ShopBigGame.com still has some apparel left before we go and do a complete rebrand. On that note, love you guys. See y'all later.